But I got to be completely honest with you guys. I've been stressed out about Fortnite. Um, I've been stressed out because I really like this game, and I'm seeing these other games like Hyperscape and Warzone, and they're not necessarily better games than Fortnite. I'm not saying they're better, right? But the just being able to play those games and be in constant action, get high kill games with a squad, uh, and Warzone has skill base, so it's not even about skill base. Forget skill base. Warzone has skill base, and Hyperscape will eventually have skill base when it fully launches, most likely. So I'm not talking about skill base. I'm just talking about the pacing of the game, man. Like playing Fortnite, and I push every single person I see. 10 kills. That's like a high kill game nowadays. 10 kills used to be low kill back in the day. It used to be 20 kill plus was high kill. 10 was pretty low for a top player. I'm not talking about the average player. Nowadays, like, you get over 10 kills, that's a high kill game. Like, it's cut in half. The expectation of a high kill game has been cut in half. And it's not skill based. Listen. You guys see me dogging on these players, making them my sons. These guys are okay. Skill base is in, right? But I'm still head and shoulders above the average, even high skill based player. I'm still just dominating, but I'm not running into enough people to get high kill games and entertaining games. Like the action is just not happening. The action is not happening. But I'm playing these other games, and man, dude, the BR genre is developing, right? And it's like Hyperscape, dude. They have this really smart thing that they're doing where the map is a box, right? I'm gonna pull out paint, right? So Hyperscape, this is their map, okay? I'm gonna create all 3 maps. This is their map, right? And they've got a bunch of POIs and builds and landing spots, right? Looks like a piece of cheese, right? And in Hyperscape, the way people spawn in is they take players, squads of 3, and they break them up. They break up the lobby into fourths, okay? And they spawn them in each corner of the map. So out of the 100 players, there is 25 total. 25 is not the exact number, but they split them up around the map. This is the start of a game of Hyperscape. So what happens is 1/4 of the lobby is spawning here, 1/4 is spawning here, and they all come in at a pretty fast speed. So the entire map ends up getting used, and people are spread out everywhere, okay? Now, this is just Hyperscape. I'm not saying Fortnite has to copy this, because I don't think this would work for Fortnite, all right? But let's look at a game that has a little bit of a more similar drop, right? We're talking purely just drops right here. So Warzone has a airplane that flies across the map. Right? It has a plane. And all the players are on the plane. But the thing about Warzone is the plane is moving really fast across the map. The speed at which the plane covers the map is very, very, very fast, right? It just zooms, right, past the map. And the players themselves, when they jump out of the plane, the action immediately starts because you can pull out your pistol right as you come out. But the players are able to dive all the way down really fast to most of the map in a pretty quick fashion, okay? In a pretty quick fashion. They're able to touch down, and so the action for Warzone, the action starts immediately. As soon as you're out of the bus, action is instant. And speed to the ground is fast. The action is instant. The speed of the ground is fast, okay? So people are able to land on most of the map pretty quickly. And they're able to start the action fast. People nowadays want quick fights. They want to be able to jump into the action quickly. Hyperscape has a quick fight because, one, everyone's landing pretty quickly. There's no bus. You're immediately deploying right off the start. And as soon as you touch down, there's other people landing around you. The fights are happening, and they happen throughout the whole match because all the players are forced to be spread out across the map. So there's always people alive. Warzone keeps people alive through gulag system and through buyback system, which is pretty innovative. But then we go to Fortnite. And here's the problem with Fortnite. The Fortnite bus moves very, very slow across the map, okay? Slow bus. Slow glide. Slow action, okay? Bringing people back into Fortnite is harder than in Warzone and in Hyperscape. In Hyperscape, it's super easy to bring somebody back. There's so many revives. Warzone, if you have a good teammate, they have money, they can buy you back almost anywhere. Plus, you have gulag. Fortnite, when you get thirsted, there's only a select amount of buses. Those buses take 10 seconds. You can't build around them, and they make a huge sound, right? And the bus moves across the map very, very slow. If a player wants to land in the corner of the map, if you are doing a max distance stretch in Fortnite, it takes 1:45 minutes to go from one spot from the bus. It takes 1:45 to go from the bus and stretch far to a far POI. So if you're going the opposite direction, like if you're not landing on the bus line, it takes you anywhere from 30 seconds to almost 2 minutes to land right where you want to land. In Warzone, because of the faster plane and the faster deploy, you're able to land pretty much anywhere on the map pretty quickly. Even if you have to stretch, it's a quick land. And the action is instant because you're able to pull out your pistol really, really right in the beginning. So people don't mind stretching because they get to get those fights in the air. Hyperscape, the action is quick. The landing is quick because they split up all the players to land in like a quadrant, right? But Fortnite, slow bus, slow redeploy, and takes a long time to get into the action. And what that results is because people these days aren't patient, right? They want quick action, right? People want things now. So what happens is the first POI that's good, usually a mythic POI, 20 people will jump out the bus and land there. They're not only landing there for the mythic weapon, right? They're not only landing for the mythic weapon. They're landing there because people want to get into the fights. They want to start the action. And if they want to stretch, it takes so long to get there. And no one's going to stretch because it takes so long. And as a result, more and more people want to just all land together. People are not spreading out along the Fortnite map. And then when people die, it's hard to bring them back. Compared to other games, it takes a lot more to bring somebody back in a game of Fortnite. You have to collect their card, which you don't have to in Hyperscape or Warzone. And the only reason you have to collect their card is because like they kind of copied Apex reboot system, which I don't mind games like copying other games. I don't really care as long as games are getting better. I don't mind. You have to collect their card, and then you have to go to a specific location that is only at major POIs, and sometimes the circle closes to the point where you can't bring someone back because there's just no buses available. And then it takes 10 seconds to reboot. Plus, you can't build around the reboot. So. And then also, Apex bus is fast, and you glide all the way down to the ground in Apex. And you glide really fast, too. So, like, in Fortnite, the map is 20% bigger this season, but it takes forever to get to a spot. And as a result, everyone just lands in the same spot and just dies off spawn. So what's the fix? I mean, I just pointed out a lot of fixes. They could speed up the bus. They could speed up the gliding system. They could make it easier to bring back thirsted teammates. Dude, they could do 2 buses in pubs. It wouldn't work in competitive, but in pub games, bro, they could do 2 buses. They do it in Team Rumble. I mean, I would be interested to see how the game feels with 2 buses filled with 50 players. I know we talked about increasing the players. If they want to increase, they can increase, but like they could do 2 buses and just try it. For pubs only, not for competitive. In competitive, it doesn't work. There's a lot of reasons why it doesn't work in competitive. I need people to know that I'm not suggesting things for competitive. I always get these like 14-year-old, preteens who are like $0 in earnings, yet they're grinding competitive, and they're like, Sypher, you're ruining the game. You make all these suggestions, it's going to ruin competitive. And I'm not even talking about competitive. I'm completely against 2 buses in competitive.